You may have heard of Project 2025. Political groups and pundits are raising red flags about it. News organizations are writing stories. Friends are saying, have you seen this? And even President Biden and Vice President Harris have been talking about it on the campaign trail. And for good reason. It is frightening, anti-democratic, and goes against what the vast majority of Americans want for our country. So I wanted to share with you this short program so that you have everything you need to learn more about Project 2025. What is Project 25? Well, it's a plan that was crafted by Trump's allies and supporters aimed at taking over America's government if Trump wins in 2024. Hopefully that won't happen. By eliminating checks and balances, they plan to push a far-right agenda without oversight, embedding extremist policies for generations. There are 4 pillars to Project 2025. The first is a playbook of teams and transition plans that would gut most of the agencies Americans rely on in order to keep our country functioning. Think the Department of Education, the Department of Homeland Security, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Independent Department of Justice, all gone. Second, it's a private database of far-right loyalists who want to work for Trump. Think of it as an extremist LinkedIn. Their goal is to have at least 20,000 loyalists screened and ready to fill federal appointments throughout the government. We know the damage that just 3 of his appointees have done to the Supreme Court. Imagine what thousands of his appointees would do across federal agencies. And for a 900-page mandate for leadership that creates an agenda for a new Trump administration, completely reforming how much of our government operates. It'll be impossible to share all of it with you, but here are some of the most egregious goals. To take away your reproductive rights. This isn't just about abortion. This is about birth control, IVF. It's about adoption rights. It's about a woman's right to make medical decisions for herself and a family's right to make their own plans for building family. They want to end programs that address climate change. They want to end public education and funnel all that money that goes to public education now into religious schools and private schools. They want to persecute, and I'm using that word very clearly because they use these sorts of words in Project 2025. They want to persecute LGBTQ plus Americans, specifically transgender, but they are focused on all of LGBTQ community. They want to ban marriage between anyone except for one man, one woman, and they're basing it on the Bible, which is ridiculous because the Christian Bible doesn't particularly focus on one man, one woman. But I digress. They want to encourage racial discrimination. They want to do mass deportation and reduce immigration, legal immigration. They want to make Christian nationalist ideology the mainstream and make it part of how our government operates. They want to make the USA a Christian nationalist nation, and they want to give unchecked power to the president so that Congress and the courts would no longer really be necessary except as a rubber stamp. Why is this important? It's important because Project 2025 threatens America with book bans, abortion restrictions, and government control over birth control and IVF. It undermines equal rights, free elections, and separation of church and state, aiming to grab power and regress freedoms. Understanding this vision is crucial to mobilizing voters against it in November. So don't fall for their tricks. Yes, Trump is trying to distance himself from Project 2025, and he refers to his plan as Agenda 47. But guess what? If you look at Agenda 47, it mirrors much of Project 2025. Both of these plans propose the same policies and ideas. As public awareness of these toxic plans increase, they will rename and reinvent and do their best to confuse and redirect attention. But remember, it is the same plan no matter what the name. Project 2025 is already being implemented. We've seen this in the recent Supreme Court decisions, not just around abortion, but also around the legitimacy of Trump's actions or any president's actions, and the ability to prosecute a president or past president. It eliminates the checks and balances that our government has in place so that Trump can successfully implement these extremist policies without Congress or federal agencies getting involved. Recent rulings by the Supreme Court's conservative majority have set the stage for this authoritarian shift, making it easier for Project 2025 extremists to achieve their goals. Chevron USA versus NRDC Inc. By overturning this landmark 1984 decision, the Supreme Court has expanded the authority of conservative judges to rewrite rules in favor of corporations and special interest groups. The decision marks another power grab by the conservative Supreme Court majority, aiming to increase corporate and special interest influence over American lives. Trump versus the United States. In a 6-3 decision divided on party lines, the Supreme Court ruled that former presidents, including Trump, are granted criminal immunity for their official acts during their term, significantly expanding presidential powers and posing a threat to democracy. Never in the history of our republic has a president had reason to believe that he would be immune from criminal prosecution if he used the trappings of his office to violate the criminal law. Moving forward, however, all former presidents will be cloaked in such immunity. If the occupant of the office misuses official power for personal gain, the criminal law that the rest of us must abide by will not provide a backstop. Implemented in states has already happened. In Virginia, Governor Glenn Youngkin vetoed a bill that would protect access to contraception. It's just a few years, and half of all the states have bans on trans health and care for children. Louisiana now requires the 10 Commandments be in public school classrooms. It's amazing that things that are happening. The big ban noise this week, because of Harris being in her campaign, is about DEI and the limiting of that effort at colleges. There are so many things that are going wrong. Women are dying from pregnancies that should have been aborted because of health reasons, but cannot be aborted. And now they are talking about restricting the rights of women to travel between states. So what can you do? Project 2025 is a real threat, but it can also motivate us. When people realize our freedoms that are at stake, they can support our cause. So how do we raise awareness? Well, I'm doing it by taking this red, wine, and blue PowerPoint and sharing it with you. You can talk to everyone about voting in the 2024 election and in voting for candidates that share your vision. Educate your community by sharing valuable resources. Help fund efforts to educate voters about the dangers of Project 2025. One of the ways to do that is to support Red, Wine, and Blue. The website is at the bottom of this slide. We need your help to stop Project 2025. We have to defeat extremism. We have to make sure that this does not become our full reality. It's already too far along. Please share, repost, rewatch, use this video any way that you can to help people understand that they have to vote blue this time around. Thanks.